to the
Secret Garden Society. You go so slow every time.
I go slow.
Yes,
I'm about
dude.
to crash
I
out
tried
right
to pace
now.
with you, and
No.
then I'm like, we gotta go. We gotta just go.
As the editor of this podcast, I want you to know I listen to it every week. And
as an
Indigo
avid
goes
listener,
so slow, and then I feel like, okay, I have to slow down to match it.
absolutely not.
We're gonna record one for real soon, so that we don't have to do this. But
because it's a shit show.
Yeah. How has everyone's week been? We kind of just talked recently, so
yeah, just past Saturday.
Don't feel like there's a lot to catch you guys up on.
But we do have a special guest.
Everyone say hi to Sydney.
Hi, Sydney.
Sydney, who are you?
Hi, I'm Sydney. I'm someone in Max's Monday D&D session. We have now become friends, and I have now recruited both Indy and Max to play tabletop RPGs with me. And yeah, FBI, look into me.
Look into her.
Yeah, if something looks fishy about me, FBI, look into me.
Sydney and I are doing a podcast as well called Princess D&Diaries, and so
great name.
Thank
phenomenal
you.
Name. That's all Sydney.
I gardened and then I cooked with that one, so thank you.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Sydney is also a gardener and a fairy.
Yes.
We are fairies.
I like got like a little like my like heart skipped a beat because I just like kept thinking about like when you call like gay people fairies like derogatorily.
You thought I was quickly hate criming you.
I was like, I'm like, I know that you're not.
Slur.
Yeah, it's like I felt like a sleeper agent where it's like somebody like calls you that in school and you're like, "What'd you call me?" And I'm like, "Oh wait, no, it's that's not what's happening."
Yeah, over at the Secret Garden Society, we are actual fairies. We do have actual wings.
Yeah.
And just by being a guest, you get your own wings.
Yeah, what do your wings look like?
Ooh,
do you know?
Probably. I used to love Winx Club as a kid. Probably like pointy and like cunty. Can I say cunty here?
I think
you
so.
can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
just like cunty and bad bitchery, and they're like kind of like sparkly and sheer. Like I really liked like Bloom's wings from Winx Club. So like that.
I love that.
Thank you.
So slay. First question really like on the agenda. And
what's my social security number?
Yes. It's also werewolf, vampire, and mind flayer. Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, okay. Is it like question because then this marry vampire because I love I love vampires. Like I'm a True Blood Twilight girly. Are they good? No. Do I love them? Absolutely. But for werewolf and mind flayer, like that starts to like go down like a morally questionable route. So is it like a Jacob werewolf? It's like, or would it be like I have to like fuck like the werewolf form?
I think it's a Jacob werewolf.
Okay, so I could fuck
so
the
we
human.
Don't get canceled.
Great. Yeah, great. Okay. That's like what I want to know. Okay, then I'll kill because I'm like I know that it's like a humanoid squid looking thing, but I don't think I could fuck a squid. Like that's my hard line.
Okay.
Controversial opinion.
Controversial hard line here.
But
you're gonna get canceled.
Yeah,
first the furries came after us from Indigo. Now the
squid community.
Yeah, the squid community. I was gonna say tentacle freaks, but that felt really mean, and I didn't mean that.
The tentacle,
the tentacle fandom.
Yeah, the tentacle fandom. I'll put it on the record that I would not have sex with a squid. Okay. So I'll fuck Jacob, but because I'd be morally okay with if it was like I was dating somebody, and then who was like the really hot werewolf? Oh, Leah. from Twilight.
Yeah, Leah.
Yeah. If I was like dating Leah and it was like she was like human, but then like all of a sudden it's like sometimes I'm like, oh, like, you know, I don't feel like hiking, and then she's like, oh, I'm going wolf, and like,
yeah,
but like we wouldn't be having sex like while she was a wolf, like that I'd be okay with. So, but yeah, so fuck the werewolf parentheses human form.
Yeah.
Marry the vampire, and then I'll put a bullet in the mind flayer.
Perfect.
Or I'll make sashimi. Yeah.
Wait, really fast. Have you seen Nosferatu?
Oh, of course I've seen Nosferatu.
What did you think?
Okay, so I saw it on Christmas Day.
That's
because
fun.
Yeah, because I'm a harlot. But
FBI, look into her.
FBI, look into me and my folder full of vampire fiction. But it was literally like I had Brian, who you two both know, that's going to be in our campaign, he came and spent Christmas with me and my family, and so it was like literally like we had Christmas dinner. Immediately afterwards, went to go see Nosferatu. And I really liked the movie, but because Brian and I have been friends for years, and it's like genuinely like he's like my brother, hence like why he was there with us at Christmas, because he is an orphan. But I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if I wasn't with him, just because it was so sexual. And I was like sitting there like watching it like with your actual sibling, where I'm like, if I was alone or like with like my girly pops, I'd be like,
yes,
like that scene where like they're like I think it's like Ellen and or like Helen, whatever the fuck her name is.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres. That was in Nosferatu.
She's in there.
She's in there.
Is she Nosferatu?
She's making a career comeback. Yeah.
Fuck, I have to see this movie now.
She killed it.
Yeah, it was actually just like her in Dory form. Like they animated her and then put her in the movie. But yeah, so that was like the case. So yeah, but I do think I need to like do a rewatch of it, like by myself or with like a girly pop, or just someone that loves monster fucking as much as I love me. But as long as they're not animals, then no animal fucking, just monster fucking. And you can put me on the record saying that.
And the FBI is gonna.
The FBI is gonna look into that.
That's so funny.
Oh, Indigo, what did you think of Nosferatu?
I thought it was really good. I didn't like the sex scenes with him. Like, he was just so gross. Like, when they show his, like, decaying back on top of her, I was like, like, no. Like, I don't know. It was just so nasty.
I haven't seen Nosferatu, but I'm watching The Boys right now, which is, like, the really gritty, dark superhero show. And there's the guy from Gossip Girl, Nate Archibald, is in there as like a fish guy, and he's got gills on his chest, and I really can't look at them. They freak me out.
He is a squid fucker.
He is a squid fucker. He does fuck animals in the show. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard about that before I started. I'm literally just got to season 2, and it is like half the time I'm watching that show, my jaw is dropped. Anyways, I just, the monster fuckery in that show, I'm not about. It scares me.
Wait, what would you guys pick for your fuckberry kill for the werewolf and vampire?
I think same as you.
Okay.
I love vampires. Indigo and I have talked about this before. We are on record, and you can quote us saying this. If there are any vampires out there listening, we are willing. I've got 2 freckles that mark exactly where to bite.
I used to say that until I saw Nosferatu.
Really?
And then I was like, actually, they're kind of gross.
You said, ew, no thank you.
They're kind of icky. They have rats with them all the time. They're like old and decrepit and
okay,
like,
just don't be that kind of vampire. Be like a Cullen vampire.
That's like every guy in Brooklyn, New York, though. So I think that's why I feel differently about it.
You're like, I'm
That's
actually
so
kind of
funny.
into that.
Yeah, it's just like a guy with like a bunch of like rats and like hasn't like done fucking skincare and like since he was born, so he's just got like just like an oozing back.
Oh my god.
Oh god, yeah, that's what really does it for me. I'm like, no, I can't.
I'm out.
It
Oh my
really
God.
changed my mind on vampires after seeing that movie.
Damn.
Yeah, so I think I would. Oh wait, were you going, Max? Were you going?
I had the same one as Sydney. So if you're not marrying a vampire, I'd love to hear who you're marrying.
I'm gonna marry the Mind Flayer.
Whoa.
Ooh, controversial.
And I'm gonna kill the vampire.
Whoa.
And I'm gonna, I guess, fuck the werewolf.
FBI.
Sydney just pulled out a real FBI badge.
A real FBI badge from Google Images.
From an officer, right?
I did, yeah. The FBI agent that was looking into me, yeah. I stole his badge. So
you stole his badge.
Now I have to look into myself.
Oh my god. Well, I wanted to ask some questions about Normal, the homebrew campaign you're brewing for us.
Yeah.
What started? What got you into it?
Yeah, so it was like Normal started off as like humiliating confession, but like when I was like back in ye olde days, I used to do a lot of like Tumblr RPing.
Incredible.
So this was like something that like a friend and I were kind of like, oh, we want to like have something where it's like sort of like Stranger Things and like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like a Monster of the Week sort of thing, like that kind of vibe. So that's kind of like where it stemmed from, and I created like the lore and stuff for the town, and it was just like something that it's like I've always loved and it's always stuck with me, like even like after a decade. So I just like I love like that kind of genre where it's like, because it's for kids on bikes, and it's like that's like my favorite kind of like genre with anything. It's like I love like the Goonies and Stranger Things and just like, you know, a bunch of like teen solving mysteries throughout like a small town. And so I've played Kids on Bikes and Kids on Brooms before, and I think we were like, Max and I were like talking about like, oh yeah, like we want to like branch out and do some other stuff. So I was like, oh, I have like this idea, because I have ran it as like a one shot before, so it's like I've taken that setting and I have like put it with the system. So yeah, that's just like kind of how it was conceived. It's basically, it's like Normal is like a town in like an unspecified like Appalachian state, just like very like kind of like Gravity Fallsy, just like creepy. There's always like weird things happening, and so where Indigo and Max's and our other two friends, Brian and Luna's characters, like get like dropped in. It's like a week before school starts. It's the last week of summer vacation, and they're gonna have to like do a scavenger hunt thing.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I know, I'm so excited.
It's gonna be so fun.
We had a good session 0. I'm excited. Yeah, because it's like, I know that you guys like don't really like know Luna and Brian like too well now, but it's like I asked these 4 people because I'm like, one, everyone's a little queer.
We are gay.
Also, yeah, everyone's everyone's a little gay. Everyone's a fairy, and
we're fairies.
We're all fairies.
We're all fairies. Yeah, and I was just like, oh, I think like that's like kind of like the group like I wanted to play with. And also it's like knowing like the 4 of you guys, I'm like, oh, you guys will all become really good friends.
Yeah, at the beginning like 2 sessions of a D&D game of people you've like never met before, the first like 1 session, maybe 2 are awkward, and after that I feel like it's like, oh well, we're besties, like we're all best friends. Yeah, I'm excited. When you're making your NPCs, who is your favorite NPC you've ever created or have experienced in a game, or whatever insight you want to give us on your favorite NPC?
I think, let me think about that. I think for Normal, I'm really excited about like the mayor's son. He's just like a weird, he's just a weird guy. There's also like another NPC I'm excited about. Because it's gonna be like, because it's like the characters are all like in high school, so it's gonna be a lot of like interacting with like other students from the school. Their character, and it's like everyone's like, you know, students like interacting with like the other students at the school, and so there's another student who's like kind of like this like weird mathy robotics girl, and I feel like you guys will hopefully like. So those are like the two characters I'm excited about for that campaign specifically.
I'm excited.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of the times when I do a campaign, I get so swept up in the adventure that I forget to talk to anybody. And so now I know I need to talk to people. One time we did a campaign with Max, and Max was like, I was totally planning for you guys to like talk to people in the tavern, and you guys just took off into the forest. And so they were like, I had to cut out a huge part that I planned and plan it. And I was like, I don't know why that didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah, that's like I feel like that's like so natural though. It's like that's also like part of the fun, because it's either like all of a sudden you're like, okay, I have to regroup and redo what I thought was gonna happen, or you have to try to find a way to navigate the group back to it, but also without like spoiling their fun.
It's like, I need you guys. Improv. Yeah, it's like, I need you guys to have this information. Now I need to figure out a new way for you guys to have this information. I love the improv aspect of it, of just like trying to figure it out like on the spot.
Yeah, love a good yes and.
Love a good yes and. It's all about a yes and.
Yeah, I'm always saying that.
And did you know that me and Max were in improv in high school?
Wait, I know that Max was. Wait, that's so fucking funny, because the reason why I'm getting Brian to play with us is because Brian and I were that's how Brian and I became friends. It's like we were in an improv troupe. Yeah, in college. Yeah, that's how Brian and I met. That's so funny. All right, so fuck Luna. Luna has no improv experience. She can
better go sign up for a class right now.
I'm gonna text her right now and be like, Luna, you have to find an improv class or I'm gonna have to kick you out.
It's mandatory.
It's mandatory. You have to show me your certificate. Yeah. I'm gonna put Luna on stage with like 6 like black chairs, and like she's gonna have to like wear like show blacks, and it's like, and scene. Go for it. I want to
zip zap zop right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure it out.
That's gonna be how we all prepare pre-session. It's just a little game of zip zap zop to like loosen the edges.
Yeah. When I did, actually I don't know if it was improv or if it was theater, but it was when the eggs, bacon, grits, sausage song came out, and that was our warm-up backstage before the curtain rose.
That's wild, because that song is about dick.
Yeah. Oh, this wasn't like a teacher-led thing. This was like just this. It was like, because it was the first scene of, I want to say it was Wedding Singer. It was Wedding Singer, and I was in right when the curtain came up. I was there, and it was just like 4 or 5 of us, and so we would do it before. But speaking of preparing for something.
Great.
Pull out a gun.
This is a really good segue. I have tears falling down my face. Speaking of preparing for things, what do you guys do to prepare before a session to like get into character?
I usually, to get into character, I don't know. I feel like recently, because the 2 characters I'm playing right now in our Monday campaign is like my character's just like kind of like unhinged. And then my Tuesday character's also unhinged, but like with a New Jersey accent. So I'm like, oh, that's like writing what I know. So I feel like I don't have to like prepare to get into character. However, I do always like either make dinner or I'll get like a snickle snack. And then I'll always time it that it's like 30 minutes before the session I have to garden. So that it starts to hit by the time we begin. Sometimes I'll like look through my notes. Mostly, I don't know, it depends, because it's like sometimes with our Monday campaign, I feel as though 90% of the time we're all like, what the fuck is going on at any given moment. So if there's a week where I'm like, I'm so confused, then I'll like go back and look at my notes. But if not, I'm like, get a snack, garden, balls out, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe not balls out, but FBI, cut that.
Cut that.
I have to pull out the FBI badge on myself now.
Indigo, do you have any, like, or do you plan to have any for your new character? Like, have you made a playlist or anything?
I don't have a playlist. I know that you do that, right, Max?
I have a very, like, religious, like, prepare session before. I have to, well, because I get off work at 4 and D&D starts at 5. So at 4, I leave work, I go and I get something fun to eat or drink. So I'll get like a Starbucks or I'll get some like Jack in the Box, because Jack in the Box is a running gag in our Monday games. So I'll get Jack in the Box because I'm like, this is what Maggie would want. And then when I come back, I smoke, I eat, I roll out all of my D20s. I roll every single one until it hits a 20. And then I keep it propped up on the 20 because it has to charge like that. And I have a playlist that I listen to, but the last song I have to listen to is Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill. Yeah. Maggie, that is her song. And then the Tuesday game, like, I have a kind of a cringy character, and so I listen to like cringy music playlist and kind of look up magic tricks and like Chris Angel mind freak things. and that's how I prepare for Stormy. So, and roll out my D20s. That's like every time I play D&D, I have to roll my 20s out.
I can always see when you're listening to your playlist on Discord, and when it gets to, it'll like get like closer to when we start playing, and it's always like I Know the End by Phoebe Bridgers, and then it's Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill, and I'm like, okay, it's almost time. Max is in the zone.
I'm in the zone. I am like currently, I'm so high, and I'm like, I'm Maggie now. She's possessed me.
Kate Bush is like your sleeper agent, like trigger. You just like sit up straight, wide eyes.
It really is at this point. When I hear it now, I'm like, that's Kate Bush. That's Running Up That Hill. I know that song.
Kate Bush.
Kate Bush is in your room with you right at that moment.
Oh, it's honestly religious.
So funny.
Yeah.
But I love that idea though. I would love to make a playlist. I just haven't really figured out my character yet.
No, and that is something I wanted to talk about, because truly the beginning of like who your character is versus 3 sessions in versus 20 sessions in or whatever is so different. When I made Maggie, she was supposed to be Rory Gilmore vibes. And now she is a coke dealer, allegedly. And
FBI look into this.
FBI look into them. This. She's unhinged, and she is nowhere near who I thought she was gonna be when I first created her. So the first playlist I made for her is like the Smiths, Mazzy Star, like Radiohead, and then I'm like, no, she's actually insane. She would not listen to this. So don't feel like any pressure to like it has to be like who she is, because maybe it's just like who you want her to be.
Yeah.
So philosophical.
I know, right? I have a hard time figuring out a character from scratch. So I decided for this game, I'm gonna model my character after the girl from Bottoms.
Hazel?
Hazel.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna channel what I think Hazel would choose.
Yeah.
And that will guide me.
Yeah.
So I guess, I could make a playlist based off, like, okay, what do I feel like Hazel's energy is?
I'll find one right now. I'm sure someone's made one.
Yeah, and then it's like, nice. and like part of like the fun is like you could like go in and you're like, okay, it's gonna be like Hazel inspired, and then like again, like Max said, it could be like 3rd session and you're like, oh wait, no, Ophelia is Barack Obama, like
yeah.
To a 180.
That's so true. That's hilarious.
I can't wait until Ophelia becomes Barack Obama.
Yeah, that's gonna be my favorite session.
That's gonna be the mid-season finale. Ophelia runs for president.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it happen.
Okay, wait, I have this question just because I am curious. Because this, like, game is, like, there's gonna be, like, dark, like mysteries and shit. Like, do you think Indigo's and I's characters will still be alive or best friends at the end of this? Because our characters are best friends.
Yes, I will say that, like, because one of the things with Kids on Bikes is, like, seldom do the and maybe, like, depending on, like, what kind of, like, vibe you're going for, it is one of the nicer things about the system. It's that, like, seldom do the PC characters, like, ever die, just because there's not really, like, a fight like system. Granted, like, I'll never, like, kill off a character in this game unless, like, I talk to somebody first, but it's like it'll probably be only, like, someone will probably die unless it's, like, narratively important, or maybe, like, one of you guys, like, comes to me and is like, hey, I think, like, this would, like, work really well, maybe, like, thinking about doing a different character. Again, like, the third session might be like, Ophelia is Barack Obama and I'm gonna kill her. Actually, wait, no, FBI. Wait, FBI.
FBI get her?
They're like, what?
Sorry, what was that?
Wait, I don't want. I love
in Minecraft.
In Minecraft, love Barack Obama. Please don't die. But yeah, it's what was the question? I'm so gardened right now.
Our characters gonna still be best friends.
Yeah, honestly, if everyone, I love conflict, so I think it'd be, like, fun if maybe there was, like, some conflict that came up. But I think that if we end the campaign and everybody hates each other, then I feel like that would be such a disservice to the genre, because it's like, I love found family. Like, again, like, that's, like, what makes me love Kids on Bikes, because it's very much like found family, you know. And, like, you can, you know, you fucking fight with your friends all the time. I mean, like, look at Stranger Things, like, when fucking not Stranger Things, but in the new It movie, in, like, the first one, like, literally, like, Finn Wolfhard's character gets, like, punched in the fucking face by his best friend, and then, like, 10 minutes later it's like, all right, we're friends again, let's go kill this fucking clown. It's like, that's, you know,
that's how it be.
That's how it be.
I've punched Indigo in the face before.
Yeah. And you'll do it again.
And I'll do it again.
That never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you guys Indigo could punch me in the face. I don't think I could punch Indigo in the face.
If you guys, like, do want to come to me and be like, we want something to happen that makes them never want to talk again, I'll be like, all right.
Sure.
I'll cook, ? But
what is your funniest D&D character name?
Like, my player character, or, like,
player character? Or it could be non-player character, but player character.
Oh, was it Tomato? When you were, like, asking Tomato when you were asking me about that?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Tomato was my very first D&D character. Fun fact.
That's cute.
I had never made a D&D character before, and so I was also doing Pirates of Penzance at this time. I was, like, assistant stage managing it. And, like, the beginning plot to that musical, in case, like, anyone doesn't know, is that it's, like, this guy that his parents, like, wanted him to be a pilot, but the person that was taking care of him misheard and sent him to go be a pirate. And so on, I think it's, like, his 18th birthday, he, like, decides, he's like, I'm gonna leave the ship. I don't want to be a pirate. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, that'll be, like, the thing with my character. And then like, she got off the ship, and then the first thing she saw was a tomato bush, so she's like, that's will be my name. Oh, and then she got, like, a because we were doing Tomb of Annihilation, which is an awful first campaign to play as someone who's never played D&D before, by the way.
It is genuinely because Indigo, I don't think you've heard of Tomb of Annihilation. I've recently heard
and you
about
don't want to,
and you, according to Sydney, you don't want to. It is one of my dreams to play, but it's like an endless dungeon crawler, and it's, like, insanely difficult, and it's usually so people will do it for, like, a few sessions. Sydney's group did it for 2 years.
We played for 2 fucking years.
Oh yeah. My god,
insane. Like, you're supposed to die, like, a lot, so that is an insane game for 2 years.
And it's also the hardest thing about the campaign is that, like, the whole plot is that there's a death curse that's, like, fallen upon the land, and so if you die, like, there's no resurrection. Like, your character dies and, like, you're fucking dead. Literally, first session, my friend Christian's character died, And she was the one, her character was the one that connected everybody in the party. So we're all like, what the fuck are we gonna do now? And it was just like, yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, Tomb of Annihilation, not good. But but I played Tomato in that.
Which is so funny to play Tomato in like
Yeah.
Tomb of Annihilation.
Yeah, because I didn't know the fucking like, because that was the other thing. It was kind of like everyone was like, "Oh, we'll teach you how to play," and I was like, oh, "Okay," and like I'm thinking it's like, you know, just like, oh, fun little fantasy stuff. It's like, no, it's death and shit and snakes and
it's like,
and
oh,
bullshit.
You've never ever played a video game? Try Elden Ring. And you're like, Tomato.
Yeah, and she did. Her whole thing was that like she really wanted to get a dinosaur, because I think this is when they started introducing dinosaurs into D&D, was with Tomb of Annihilation.
Yeah.
So I was like so fixated on that. So Tomato's whole goal was to just I wasted like learning spells like on like animal friendship and speak with animals, because I'm like, I need to fucking get this dinosaur. And she eventually got one, and then she named him Cucumber. So it was Tomato. So it was Tomato and Cucumber.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but that campaign was so goddamn awful. I don't want. I would revisit it with like a gun to my head as like a joke, but I don't think I could. I don't think I could do it. I don't have it in me.
That's fair.
That's a long time.
When you told me that NADPOD did it in 12 hours, I was gobsmacked.
Yeah, I'm guessing they had to do like an abridged version, but one of my favorite podcasts, they did it for like a charity live stream, and they did 12 hours straight of Tomb of Annihilation. I was just like listening to it, and it seemed so fun. So I was like, hey, Sydney, have you ever heard of Tomb of Annihilation? I really want to do it. And Sydney was like, have I heard of it?
Eye twitching.
So if you were to live in the D&D universe, you wouldn't want to live in Tomb of Annihilation.
You know what? Maybe I would, just so I can kill every character that I hated in that world. No, I would pick. I was thinking about this. Maybe like Barovia, which is like where Strahd is taking place. But then I was like, actually, like thinking about it, and I was like, wait, no, like Barovia is like winter most of the year, and it's like mainly
a vampire module, so it's like dark and spooky vibes,
and like mostly like rough terrain. But like I was like going into it like, I just want to see the vampires. I just want to kiss a hot vampire lady, please.
Curse of Strahd just seems like a sexy campaign. I fear.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I have to go into this manor and there's a hot vampire in here, maybe. Oh no, what's gonna happen?
Tee-hee-hee. Yeah. So I feel like the longevity of my life probably would not fend well there. But can I pick Spire from Dimension 20? Does that count? Even though it's homebrew. I'd love to live in Spire. I love Elmville. I'll pick that.
Modern fantasy is pretty. I'm a huge fan of modern fantasy. I was gonna go. It was the first module I ever ran was A Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I don't really I'm wishy-washy on the Feywild. It is so beautiful, but I feel like I'm so traumatized by time shenanigans that I don't like that when you go in, you don't know when you're coming back out again.
Yeah.
But if I just stayed in the Feywild, found a little like cabin in the woods, maybe, like I think I could do that. What about you, Indigo?
I don't know enough D&D campaigns. I can give you some, like, there's Icewind, which is like all winter, frozen, burr. No, I hate winter.
There's Strahd, I was gonna say Spooky Dookie.
Is there any mermaid one? Under the sea?
There is one. There is a module that's a pirates one.
I choose that.
I don't think they actually have one now that I'm looking. Let me see.
Rats. That's crazy if there's not. I hate it. I hate this world.
Should we make one?
Let's make one.
No, right now.
Perfect.
Homebrew on the spot, on the pod.
No, I did want to make one because when I started campaign or DMing for like the roommates, like last year, I asked you guys like what kind of campaigns you guys would be into, and you guys said mermaids. Since Indigo and I have a D&D stream, we're gonna be doing little 1-shots and 2-shots and shit, I think mermaids is gonna be one of them.
It's literally my dream. I was watching some of our old, like, Twitch clips, and there was a clip of me talking about what I think heaven is like, and I was like, I think heaven is just, like, I get to go treasure hunting all day, and I'm like, I just want to be a treasure hunting mermaid. That's it. That's my one wish.
Have you ever thought about, like, taking those, like, classes where, like, they teach you how to, like, swim with, like, the mermaid tails?
I've thought about it, but swimming kind of scares me. And then, did you see that video of the mermaid getting bit by the fish?
Mm-hmm.
What?
I was like, no.
Yeah, that was crazy.
She was swimming, and this giant fish bit her head, and she, like, got out of it and had to swim back up. But I'm like,
her head?
It's so scary. Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
If I had a nickel and dime for every time that happened to me.
Every time a fish bit my head.
For every time a fish bit my head. I would get a tail.
Yeah.
Like, just if I was, like, stupid rich, I would get a tail, for sure.
Yeah. Just take, like, selfies in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just lounge by the pool.
Ugh.
Just, like, wear it for no reason.
That would be so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta look up tails.
That's so funny. One time we did get like a mermaid treasure chest when me and Max lived together, and we used to like dive for like gems and gold coins and stuff.
Yeah,
wait, because you guys used to have a pool, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, it was so fun.
It was so fun.
R.I.P.
Miss those
R.I.P.
days.
Do you want me to come to your house with a jackhammer and I can make a pool?
Well, I have one where I live now. So we just have to wait for
you want
summer.
Another one?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Handy.
Mm-hmm. That's me.
Okay, so Indigo, you've played one D&D character. You've also got Ophelia now. And then Sydney, between the D&D characters you play, who do you think, if they got stranded on an island, would last the longest?
Oh, I think Tomato probably. She probably could.
Yeah,
She's seen some shit.
Yeah,
she knows the seas.
She's not a good pirate though. Fun fact, I wanted to play her Bard Rogue multi-class, but no one ever explained to me how multi-class works, so I ended up just playing her straight Bard for like 10 levels. And being like, maybe one day
I'll get to multi-class.
Yeah, I mean, this is also my fault, because it's like I could have just Googled it or read the handbook. That was like the other thing. It's like I was like, for a while I was like no one's like teaching me how to play really, and I was like, oh, I literally could just like pick up the handbook and read it, but I didn't, because I'm like,
it's like free online.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm too pretty, I'm not gonna read. But I think probably like a toss-up between Liar and Karma, because Liar is like very like, she's a scrawny little bitch. Like, that motherfucker is like, she's weak. Well, actually, apparently she's like buff now, because like when someone in her party got like a photo, like a commission done of everybody, and they like randomly drew my character so buff, and I'm like, you know what, right. we're rolling with that now. But it's like, she's like kind of like smart. I feel like she could figure a way to like get out of the situation. Karma has pure grit. She's my goblin monk character.
I was like, you need to give a description of Karma, because she's phenomenal.
She's the character that like I have like the Jersey accent for. So she's like a 3-foot goblin monk. She's got like a messy bun, like gold hoop earrings, like she's a cookie pajama pant girl. So it's like she's got
Snooki.
Like she's got
Snooki.
Yes, she's got a tight white like wife beater on, and underneath is like a neon colored zebra bra, and it like the straps are showing. Like,
I love it.
So
cunty.
So cunty. I'm like, I feel like she'd be able to survive from like grit alone. So
that's what I was thinking. I was like, Karma could survive anything.
And her name is Karma.
Karma Dogpile. It's so iconic.
Oh yeah, she's surviving for sure.
She's gonna be real upset without like her rollers because like she loves a good morning peel. Like she's going like to bed with like 5 face masks on, but
I need to meet her.
Yeah,
she's iconic.
I love her.
I think
that's great.
Of my characters, I think
Stormy
would not survive. So Stormy is my Air Genasi sleight of hand magician bard. He is not surviving a day without his sleep fedora, and he's got a sleep fedora and a sleep suit. It's all silk.
Oh my god.
Maggie, I think would crash out, and I don't think she would do well. I think Fork. I don't think Fork is living either. I honestly, all of my characters are so non-survivable. Like they just are not. They're not meant for anything besides a city life, I fear.
Who was the one that you played in that one shot that we did?
Boston and Ability.
I feel like on Grit alone he might be able to.
Boston and Ability was my Kids on Bikes characters for a one shot Sydney and I did, and he is fully painted blue like the guy from Arrested Development, and he's got a blue Devil's mascot head on that he loved so much, and he was wearing just jorts.
Yeah.
No shirt.
He's a school mascot.
He's
for,
a school
for
mascot.
context. He's not just like
crazy.
This isn't just like everyday wear. Yeah.
Well, it's mostly everyday wear, but
there's like a reason behind it.
And his mom wrote "I Don't Want to Miss a Thing" by Aerosmith.
Oh
canonically.
my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that's
canonically.
So funny.
So I think maybe by grit alone he would win, but I honestly think at the end of the day he'd put that mascot head on and walk into the water. Like I don't think he's trying to survive.
We'll
play
a campaign where you can make a survival character, and then we can rehash this question later.
Yeah.
Indigo, what about you? Between Lexandria and Ophelia, who's surviving?
Ophelia is like a nerdy outcast, so I don't think she's gonna survive. Lexandria is like a warrior.
She's
who
a warrior.
Doesn't trust anyone, and so I feel like she would survive.
Yeah.
Was she a bard? Was she a barbarian?
No, she was a rogue.
Yeah.
Okay, period.
She worked for like an assassin, which, you know what's so crazy? You talked about wanting to play that character before we ever read Throne of Glass, and she's dead ass like the main character from Throne of Glass.
No, she literally is.
Yeah. So
she was like this deadly assassin that had like a snake that turned into a sword or something. I don't know.
I homebrewed like really a cool thing, yeah. Because then it goes like, can I have my snake turn into a sword? And I was like, familiars can't attack, but that's sick as fuck. So like, I have to say yes. That's cool as fuck.
There's fucking dragons in the game. See, that's like the thing. When someone's like, "Oh, that's not realistic," that's not in the world. There's fucking dragons.
Yeah.
There's fucking like people are casting speak with animals. Like that's realism is out the fucking window. We can do whatever the fuck we want in the fucking game.
You can talk to plants, and you're telling me my snake can't turn into a sword.
Yeah.
Be so for real.
You can fuck a werewolf and you're gonna
you can fuck Strahd.
Yeah, there's people out here having sex with werewolves, and you're gonna try to tell me that somebody's sword can't also be a snake. Get the fuck out of here.
That is so funny.
I won't have any of that.
No, I want whatever I want in my games. Do me.
My character also was always looking for weed.
Okay. Yes.
I say weed.
Yes. If you guys could create a strain of magical weed, what would it be called and what effect would it have? So like my example is like Dragon's Breath Kush, and it grants fire resistance for an hour. So you could theoretically smoke this before going into a battle and you'd have some sort of effect.
I have like the gardening tools I was using was called like Mooney Zooties. I feel like that's like a fun name.
Mooney Zooties is phenomenal.
Or like maybe like Barbarian Bud, and then like the effect. Oh, I don't know if this would like help for going into battle, but it's like it'd give you like -3 intelligence, so then everything was like so much funnier. So
that's
it's like
great.
Yeah,
Incredible.
so like instead of like a battle beat, that's like I'm sitting like on a cot in the tavern.
Yeah.
You know,
I
trying
love
to
that.
giggle down with my friends.
That's perfect.
I don't know if taverns have cots, but
they might.
Yeah.
Hey, they can.
Never been. Yeah. They can. You know what? They can. And Indigo's character can have a fucking snake sword.
Exactly.
And that's on Bible.
That's so funny. I think mine would be called Pixie Dixie.
Incredible name.
Thank you. And I think it would give you like an hour's worth of like levitation powers.
That's so slay.
I don't know if that. Well, yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if that's possible,
down.
but we already have established that anything is possible.
It can cast fly on you if you smoke it. I mean, maybe it's like I feel like I can make that happen.
Or it gets you so high that you think you're levitating. That can also.
You're like, guys, I got it. I'm gonna float in.
It's a minor illusion just for yourself, so no one else thinks you're floating, but you see that you're floating.
Ooh, what if it makes your enemies think that they're floating?
Ooh.
But they're really not.
Whoa.
Okay, wait a minute.
Jot that down. Okay, get on homebrewery.com stat.
That's so funny.
Get us writing 6E now. Get us on that writing team.
What are your guys' thoughts on smoking while playing D&D? We've talked about this a little bit with both of you guys, but altogether, what are our thoughts?
Done weed in my life.
Never.
I've never smoked.
Gardening.
Yeah.
I hate weed.
I've cut that. I've never gardened in my entire life. No, I do it all the time. Or there's some times where it's if I'm I really need to lock in for something, if there's a big fight, or occasionally there'll be a session where I garden a little too much and I get mud on my pants, and I'm I've said too many stupid things last session, so I need to be super sober and lock the fuck in for next session.
Can you share Liar's first day of school fit?
Oh my god, I don't even know if I had gardened for this. I think this might have just been sober Sydney coming up with this. I can't remember, but our party was we're trying to find a lost city, and so we're okay, we're gonna start an archaeology club
called the Yorfinet Club.
Yeah,
because the city's called Yorfin.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so great.
And my character was okay, if we're gonna have to recruit people for the Yorfinet Club, then I'll be the mascot to recruit people. So she put on a dinosaur costume and then covered herself in motor oil. And I forget what happened, but I think it was the oil was gonna seep into the costume or something. So then without thinking, I was okay, so she's wearing a latex dinosaur costume. She's sopping with oil, and but no one understood where the oil came from.
So confused because I was gardening and I was if this was the beginning of the session, so we were what?
It was, everyone was what?
Sopping with oil.
She was sopping with motor oil, and everyone was where did the motor oil come from? I was because that's what oil is. It's dinosaur bones. What part aren't you picking up? What part of that aren't you getting? Is that she's dressed like a dinosaur for the archaeology club, and oil is made of dinosaur bones, so she's sopping. Yeah, are you fucking dumb? What part of that aren't you picking up?
That's so great.
Why do I have to explain myself? Some people just don't get the motor oil bit. But yeah, I don't know if I was. I think I was sober for that, and I think
even better, honestly.
And I think after that, I was I need to garden. I'm I've already broken the seal. I'm already saying stupid shit. I might as well garden.
Gardening has brought Jack in the Box into our games canonically.
Yeah.
He's brought Pitbull canonically, 9/11 canonically, Chris Angel canonically. Yes. we've got so many things that we wouldn't have in this game if it weren't for gardening, and that's why I'm an advocate for gardening while you play D&D.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, it just makes you, like, sillier, makes you, like, more loose.
Yeah.
More open to shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's, like, fine, because it's, like, I, like, most of the time, like, I'll garden before a session, and, like, I write, like, Wikipedia length notes when we play, so it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, like, you know, I'm gonna garden, and then I'm gonna, like, forget how to, like, use the hoe, and then, like, one session later, it's like, oh, where'd the hoe go? It's like, no, I'm like, I'm writing a manuscript as we're going along. I'm being a silly duck, and also just, like, fucking I'm the Beethoven of writing D&D notes, essentially. Like, there's a symphony on my
I don't think that's an understatement.
No. I'm like, I pay attention. I'm solving shit.
I need to get better at that. When I was writing notes, none of my notes made sense looking back. It was like, it wasn't even like clear English. Like, have you ever seen Always Sunny? When like Charlie is writing? That's exactly how my notes were. It was like,
Bird law.
Don't trust evil, the wind, north.
No, I'm the same way, and especially when Sydney's gone, I tried to lock in and take notes, and I was just like I was like, none of this makes sense. One time, 3 letters, and it was, what does this mean? I'm like, I don't know, you tell me. No clue what that means.
Max was using our DMs as like their personal like note-taking thing. Like, they just kept like sending me all the things, and I'm like, I feel like Max is having like a schizophrenic breakdown right now.
I was so high, and also the session itself I was very stressed out at, and so I was like, fully me, the player, was crashing out. My character was crashing out, and then I was like, and Sydney's not even here, so I just have to like dump everything, and it's just like nonsense. But I'm really bad at taking notes, and that's bad. When I DM'd, I was really bad at taking notes, because I'd be like, what happened last session? And I'm like, I have to know this. Yep. This is my part in this game, is knowing what happened.
That's why for normal, that's why I'm like, I have to record all the sessions, because it's like, if I'm going to be like GMing, like, I'm not going to be able to write notes, and I'm going to be like, what the fuck did I say? Like,
I would drop something, like I would say like, oh, the innkeeper's like husband, and then I would forget I would say that, and so then the next session we'd come across someone, and then I would forget and then say like, oh, like I'm hooking up with the innkeeper, and then they would be like, we hate this guy, he's cheating on his husband, and I would be like, wait, hold on, I forgot I said that.
You cheater.
So now I'm like, okay, fuck, he's a cheater, and that's part of the show.
It's part of the lore now.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, okay, I need to start taking notes.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Oh, speaking of taking notes, if you guys could have any one D&D spell in real life, what would you pick?
Oh, I don't know if it's like, you can get it on D&D Beyond. I'm not sure if it's like from some like weird like third party thing, but there's like a spell called Gift of Gab.
Yeah.
And essentially it's like, if you say something fucking stupid, then it can like revert back so nobody heard what you said. I feel like I would need that. I constantly have foot and mouth syndrome.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
That's a good gift. Spell.
It's phenomenal. I really love the idea of the message cantrip, because you just point to someone you can see, and you can speak with them, and they can respond back. And my friends and I have a secret language, so I do still want to use that, but it'd still be so nice to be like out in public and then have a silent conversation with your friend.
Yeah.
It would be so helpful.
For sure.
Or mending. Mending, I fear.
Yeah.
It's good. Just fix anything for the most part.
Then everyone would come to you to help them all the time.
I know there's some podcast that went on about this that was like, you can't pick something that's healing, because then is it not morally on you to use that power to heal people like who need help?
I feel like same for mending though, because it's kind of like tinkering. Like you have to like.
So mending is a cantrip, so it's like you can do it an unlimited number of times. You could charge $5. You know,
you're like, I'm gonna make this.
Then you make money.
I'm not gonna help people.
But yeah, it's just like I don't know if I'd want then to be like, okay, well now this is my whole life is mending things, you know?
Yeah,
I don't like being in a box.
FEMA now. You go and you start fixing things.
I don't want to be doing that.
You could also just not tell anyone. You could be like Sabrina the Teenage Witch and like keep it secret.
True. Yeah.
Or like Hannah Montana and then like only tell like one friend and then like your other friend is like, oh, I'm in love with a local secret mender, and then you're gonna have to be like, yeah, and then you take your mending wig off in front of them. You're like, I've been the secret magical mender all along. Wow. And it's Mitchell Musso. Didn't he get a DUI?
I think he did.
What's he up to right now? Someone ask him.
Yeah, I would research. Love to know. Let's research, Mama.
FBI, if you're listening, what's Mitchell Musso up to?
Oh, he's really into working out and changing his mindset just based off of the first Instagram. Oh, he's doing a Phineas and Ferb movie too.
Oh yeah, because he's Jeremy.
Oh yeah. Okay. Indigo, what spell would you choose?
I would choose the familiar one. What was the name of it again?
Find familiar.
Find familiar. I don't know. I love in Elsa too when she has like the little fire lizard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I want to just have like a mythical little creature that I'm friends with.
Yeah. Both of our characters have familiars. We are both.
What is that?
It's Mitchell Musso as a werewolf, apparently.
Oh my
god. Crazy.
Kill that werewolf.
Pass next.
Yeah, both of our characters are like little. You more so than me. Maggie has a snake familiar, but Lyre has like 3 little guys.
She's got so many little guys.
Yeah. I love little guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a good little guy. Like, so I think fun. That's like, it's so fun.
Indigo, little guy right here.
Oh my god! Wait, Indigo, do you have like a favorite little guy from like when you guys did Wild Beyond Witchlight, or did you guys not get to have little guys by the time you guys stopped?
I think my only little guy was my snake.
That's a good little guy.
Yeah,
love a snake little guy.
Yeah,
my character did get a baby Bjorn, to carry someone in, Oh yeah, because I think they were like at the mall and they found like a little guy, and so she's like, "Oh, I'll carry him in this." But now she always has the baby Bjorn on her. So every time, like, yes, so now like every time we find a little guy, she's like, "I guess I'm gonna have to put him in here."
It's so
They're
good.
like, I don't want to get in it.
Yeah, she's put like her like normal sized friend, like her 16-year-old friends have been in the baby Bjorn.
Maggie cast Fly on herself so that she could be in the baby Bjorn without it hurting Lyre's back.
Yeah.
So Maggie's just flying, but in the baby Bjorn, keeping her down.
That's my dream. I would love if my friends could just carry me in a little baby Bjorn.
For real.
Like after the club, I'm like, can I just hop in?
Oh my god, yes.
The dream.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, to wrap things up a little bit, I've got a speed round that I'm going to ask you guys this or that. Mm-hmm. So just answer at the same time, and then we'll just go through it. Okay? Mm-hmm. So martial or like fighter class or a spellcaster?
Spellcaster.
Oh, yeah.
Combat or roleplay?
Roleplay.
Roleplay. I hate combat.
Homebrew world or module?
Oh, homebrew, 100%.
I like homebrew too.
Theater of the mind or maps?
Maps.
I'm gonna go with theater of the mind.
Seduce the dragon or fight the dragon?
I'm fucking the dragon.
Dragon these nuts.
Oh my god. Whoa. My pearls, I'm touching them. Whoa.
I've been waiting for
FBI
that.
look into that.
I'm gonna fight the dragon.
Oh, damn. Okay. A literal second ago, I don't like combat. I'm gonna fight the dragon.
I don't want to have sex with the dragon.
Okay, that's fair.
I saw this thing and it was like, if your two favorite mythical characters are a dragon and a vampire, you're horny as fuck. And I was like, wait, that's so true. And now that's all in my mind.
Honestly, yeah, that's fair. Okay, I'm gonna explain what a mimic is real quick. A mimic is, it can impersonate like any object and it will try to bite you and kill you and eat you, I think.
Smash next. So 100 duck-sized mimics or 1 dragon-sized mimic? The duck-sized mimics, 100 probably.
100 duck-sized mimics?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, because it's that like, I could probably outrun the duck-sized mimics. I couldn't, like, I couldn't outrun a dragon-sized mimic.
I guess that's true.
Can I seduce the dragon-sized mimic?
I don't know, roll for charisma.
Wait, let me get my dice.
I didn't think of running as an option. I immediately was like, fighting.
I also was thinking fighting, but I guess running is an option. And maybe what you should do.
I'm rolling for it.
Let's see this roll.
Okay, it's an 11.
Can I use not?
Can I have advantage? Can I use my inspiration? Oh wait, fuck. Wait. Okay, that's a 13. It's like a little bit better.
He kind of looks at you, but he thinks about it, but he's not into it in the end.
That's, okay. Yeah.
Thinks valid.
And then, well,
me when I'm drunk at the club.
I think about it. Okay. Last one. Tomb of Annihilation or Wild Sheep Chase, which is the like usual go-to suggestion module for beginners, is Wild Sheep Chase or Tomb of Annihilation.
I would rather put a bullet through my fucking head than do Tomb of Annihilation. I would rather fuck myself with a cactus and use the blood as lubricant than do Tomb of Annihilation. So I'm gonna go. I don't know what Sheep Chase is, but that's the option I'm going with.
Okay.
I guess I also will go with Sheep Chase. I guess I really don't want to do Tomb of Annihilation.
I'm gonna run it, so that's bad, because at some point we're running it.
That's so funny.
If you ever run it, then I will play a character that it's like, I will play a sunshine character so that you can just see like the elapse of like going like what my like Sydney as the player sanity was like the first time when I started Tomb of Annihilation to what it became.
Okay.
And just like become darker and deeper. I'll play a paladin so I can like break my oath eventually in the campaign.
Yeah. Perfect.
My oath is loving Tomb of Annihilation.
Oh my god. Okay, and then our final question is, any tips for someone new to D&D or tabletop role-playing games and they want to get started?
Oh, read the book. Don't do what I did and don't read the book. At least like watch like there's like so many like good YouTube videos like explaining things. Oh, I'd highly suggest watching like an actual play. Dimension 20 Fantasy High is really great because it's like 2 of the characters are actually learning how to play in real time. So it was like super helpful. When I went through like a really big gap of not playing for a couple years, and I watched it and I was like, oh, okay, and explained it better than when I was like actually playing it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I learned how to play better from Dimension 20 than actually playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I was gonna echo that. I feel like watching Let's Plays gets you into what the feeling of doing it is like. Mm-hmm. And just gets you familiar with the names of things. I am someone who has also never read the book. But
I never will.
And I never will. Like maybe one day, but like I am someone who, because the games that I started DMing, like we started with just rolling the dice, adding your your number, and that's it. And then we slowly introduced more things as we got more like into it. And I think if that's how you learn to play, that is an incredible way. I don't want to say there's no wrong way to play D&D, because there is. But like I think be creative.
And it's the way that we play.
Yeah. I didn't know how to do a short rest until halfway through our campaign.
Yeah.
So like, hey, we've all been there. So yeah.
I also was gonna say the same thing. Dimension 20, like Fantasy High, I feel like helped me learn a lot. Like even just like learning on how like the characters can interact.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt really awkward at first, like doing a role playing game. Like I wasn't sure like what I could do, like how serious it was, or like I don't know, I just didn't really know.
Yeah.
And so like after like looking at how the characters interact and like the things that they were deciding to do, like the shenanigans that they were deciding to do, I was like, okay, now I'm getting a feel for the game of like what I can do and what's like the DM's job.
Yeah. I haven't seen this yet, but if someone is wanting to get into D&D and can't commit to all of, 20 episodes of Fantasy High, Dungeons and Drag Queens, it is, I believe, all of their first times playing ever. They just released the second season. So that's like a really good way to like see people actively learning in real time, and they're funny as fuck. So
yeah.
Period.
That's a good recommendation.
Slay. Well,
the dragon.
What'd you say?
I said that you said slay, and I said the dragon.
Oh, I thought you said pussy dragon, and I was like, what?
That too. Yeah, pussy dragon.
It's like
dragon
okay.
these nuts.
Got him.
Oh my god! The title of this episode is going to be D&Deez nuts in your mouth. I think.
Oh my god.
That's great.
But yeah, Sydney, where can people find you?
The streets. I'm for the streets. No, Max and I's podcast, the Princess D&Diaries, coming out Friday, this will probably come out. Oh wait, is it coming out tonight? Or
this comes out tonight.
Okay, period. Okay, slay. Pride Month. It's coming out. So the first episode will be out on Friday unless something bad happens. Good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That'll be me.
Slay. And then we also do something where we shout something out at the end. Do you have a favorite thing you've been loving recently? It could be literally anything in the world. Like,
ooh, wait, give me a second to think about it.
Okay, Indigo, do you have yours?
Mine are the 4D gummy blocks. Ooh. The like gummy candy. They are so good, and they're not overly sweet, and I've been eating them by the handful lately.
Mine is also,
so I'm gonna shout those out.
Mine is a gummy treat. It's Trader Joe's X's and O's gummy candies. I ate the whole bag in 2 days. So I have to go back and buy more. But they're delicious.
That's so good.
I watched Shin's stream the other day. I'll shout Shin out. Shin is one of Max's Twitch subscribers, and will like come in and like gift everybody like 1 million subs. So they're really
very
cool.
Sweet.
I think it's at like Shinimations.
Yeah, I think that's Shinimations.
Yeah.
Period.
That's so great.
I love you, Shin. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks
that
for
was
having
really
me.
fun.
Of course.
I love hanging with you guys. I'm excited for us to start our Kids on Bikes campaign.
Me too.
I know.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys updated on that campaign for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is so funny though, because we sent out the thing and it was like, okay, when's everybody free? And the only time that everybody was free was like a 2-hour block. And I gave everyone I was like, here's 2 weeks that like I need to see like when people are free, and it was like, okay, this aligns up with the stars. So I'm like, everybody put it in your fucking calendars. If your fucking parents die, I don't care. Like, you're coming to this session.
Yeah. And I'll be there.
I cannot wait.
I'm so excited. All right. Bye.
Bye.